Welcome to Bahasa Indonesia Lesson 4 or Lesson 4, as the case may be. All these lessons are done in conjunction with this book here. Try and get a hold of one and you can follow along with these lessons. Very good book. We start off today's lesson with, very simply, anjing itu. It's the demonstrative pronoun. So anjing itu, the dog or that dog. It'll be understood from context. So you go through them. They're very simple. Meja itu, sopir itu, lampu itu, bapak itu. If we were to say down the page, you see there it says itu meja. That means that is a table. So meja itu, the table or that table. If we say it the other way around, itu meja, that is a table. There is no verb to be in Indonesian, which makes it fairly simple. So it says down the page, compare with the English equivalent. Ayah datang dan ibu sudah pergi. Father is coming and mother has gone away. Kakak makan. Brother is eating or sister is eating, more likely. Note, there are no tenses in Bahasa Indonesia. In fact, there are tenses in Indonesian. It's just not contained in the verb like in English. So, polisi datang means the policeman is coming, the policeman was coming, or the policeman comes. You'll find from the context, it'll be very, very simple to understand what they're trying to say there. It's from the context in Indonesian, an awful lot is explained. So, an adjective is placed after the noun it describes. Anjing putih, the white dog. Kucing hitam, etc. Kantor besar, jam mahal, kota kecil. It says here there are exceptions. Banyak, sedikit, semua, and sekalian, and seluruh. Well, banyak and sedikit, quite often dikit, can be put either way. If we say banyak murid, murid banyak, that's fairly common as well. And sedikit gula, gula sedikit, gula dikit, is also fairly commonly heard. The other ones, however, are put in front of the word, definitely. Semua kantor, seluruh Jawa. So that's pretty straightforward. The possessive pronoun. Ku is short for aku, so if we wanted to say buku ku, my book, more often than not say buku saya. I always say buku saya, my book. Bukumu, your book. Buku anda, or use their name. Buku John, for instance, John's book. Dia, now this is very important. Dia and ia, which you don't hear very much, is contracted to nya. So bukunya. The example they give here is rumah dia, which you never hear. However, you hear rumahnya. Now, rumahnya can mean his house or her house, their house. It can also mean your house, but that will be clear always from the context. We can use nya in second person. Very, very common. So get used to tacking that nya onto things. Bukunya, yeah, very, very common. Your book, his book. They're straightforward. Forget those terms, the tuan, nyonya, and nona, saudara. You don't hear them very much at all. The idiom there, naik sepeda, to go by bicycle. Naik literally means to ascend. Gunung is mountain, so you can naik gunung as well. But naik mobil, naik kereta api, very straightforward, naik. Instead of, this is very good as well, saya mau pergi ke stasiun. More common, you hear saya mau ke stasiun. Pergi it's obvious, so they omit it. You find that anything that's understood in Indonesian, they omit. It takes a while for people to get their heads around how short sentences can be in Indonesian. The next one, dia mesti ke Bandung. Mesti is he has to go to Bandung. He must go to Bandung. Well, mesti, we have another word which is more common now, and that is harus. Dia harus ke Bandung. He must go to Bandung. And we drop the pergi. Pulang, pulang actually means to go home. He has it here that to return. However, pulang infers to go home to where you're from, to where you live, permanently, that is. The other words to just return is either kembali or balik. So you hear those words all the time when you're returning somewhere other than to your actual home. So when he says, saya mau pulang ke kantor, I wouldn't recommend that at all. I would say, saya mau balik ke kantor. So there are a couple of little things here that are sort of outdated. This book was written quite a long time ago. However, it's a very good book with just a few old-fashioned things. Those exercises you can do by yourself, very straightforward. I don't think that will present any problems to you. So we'll go through the vocabulary. Akan, more commonly we use the word mau for future tense. Saya mau makan. I'm going to eat, rather than I want to eat. Saya mau makan. Hujan is rain. Mau hujan, it's going to rain. So mau, more common than akan for future tense. Barang, for things. Belum, not yet. Bisa, rather than dapat. So bisa, saya bisa, I can. Boleh, boleh, very big word, very polite word to use. May. Dan is and. Garam is salt. Gula, sugar. Harus for must. Kamar for room. Another word for room is ruang. Kamar mandi is the bathroom. Kamar tidur is the bedroom. Kapal is a ship. Keluar, to go out. Kembali or balik, to return. Kereta api, a train. That's literally a fire carriage. Kopi, for coffee. Lampu listrik, the electric lamp. Lari, to run. He says here to run away. It's not necessary. Anyone who runs, running anywhere, is lari. Lemari buku is a bookcase. Masih, still. See with an H on the end? Masih. Mau. It says here want to want to, but also it indicates future tense more commonly. Meja makan, the dining room table. Meja tulis, the writing table. Minta, to ask for, to be given for free. Not when you're buying anything. Minta is to ask for something to be given without payment. Naik, to go up or rise, also to go by a vehicle. Pesawat udara, kapal terbang, for an aeroplane, 2 words. Aeroplane, I think, will get you by now. They all understand plane in Indonesia, I think. Pintu, for door. Sayur, for vegetable. Sepeda motor, for motorcycle. Sudah, telah, sudah more commonly, quite often reduced to just udah, for already. And teh, for tea. So, good luck with all those. Hopefully that'll give you something to work on. Selamat belajar.